Hi y'all, welcome to today's video where we'll be discussing Medicare 101, a guide to the basics of Medicare. Your host today is Rodolfo Sierra. I'm a licensed insurance advisor, and I do not work for nor am I endorsed by any branch of the U.S. government. So today's presentation is for educational purposes only, and we will not be discussing any specific benefit information or selling any products at this meeting. Let's get started. You'll see that we'll be referencing some materials that you can find online or even at your Social Security Administrative Office. So we'll be referencing the 2021 Medigap products and also the Medicare and You 2021 booklet. Again, you can find all this information online at medicare.gov or your Social Security Administration office. So, what is Medicare? Medicare is a social insurance program administered by the United States government, providing health insurance coverage to people who are age 65 and over or who meet other special criteria. So let's look at the eligibility and see who is eligible for Medicare. You or your spouse that have worked for at least 10 years or 40 quarters in a Medicare covered employment, or you have Social Security disability for 2 years or more, at any age, if you have end-stage renal disease or ALS, you have to be a U.S. citizen or legal resident. If you want more details or information, you can go to ssa.gov or medicare.gov. That gives you a more specific breakdown on the eligibility requirements for Medicare. The next thing to be aware of is the enrollment periods. There are a lot of different ones out there, but today I'm only going to cover the most important ones. The first one is the initial enrollment period. This is when you first turn 65. You have a 7-month window to get enrolled. On the next slide, we'll go over those specific details, but you're guaranteed coverage during this time, so it's super important you sign up during this specific time frame, barring some other situations, which we'll get to in the presentation. Another one is special enrollment period, sometimes referred to as SEP. These are for specific situations. For example, if you retire after 65, you can still enroll and be eligible. Or if you move from your service area, either from a town or from a city or across state lines, you have a special enrollment period for that time frame. Or if you lose other group coverage, there's an opportunity to get a special enrollment period, and there's a whole other list, but these are the main ones that we typically see for special enrollment periods. The other enrollment period is annual enrollment period. This is where predominantly most of Medicare programs are sold, is between October 15th and December 7th every single year. This is called the annual enrollment period. Another popular enrollment period is called the open enrollment period. This one occurs from January 1st through March 31st. So during this time frame, you're able to make any changes. For some reason you find out your doctor isn't covered for your plan, or your doctor makes changes for the new year, you have some time to make some changes from open enrollment period that occurred at any point in time during your annual enrollment period. So these are the main enrollment periods that we find when it comes to Medicare. Now, to go into more specifics of the initial enrollment period, we talked about a 7-month time frame. So you have 3 months prior to your birthday of turning 65, the month of your birthday when you turn 65, and then you have the 3 months after you turn 65 to enroll. So you have a 7-month window to get enrolled in a Medicare plan. If you sign up early, you're able to avoid a delay in getting coverage for your Part B services. So to get Part B coverage the month you turn 65, you must sign up during the first 3 months before you turn 65. If you wait until the last 4 months of your initial enrollment period, or IEP as we call it, to sign up for your Part B, your start date for coverage will be delayed. So it's super important that you begin your enrollment either prior to you turning 65 to take advantage of having no delays. You do not want to have a delayed start to your initial enrollment period. Now you can choose whether or not to enroll in your Part B. If you do enroll, there will be a monthly premium, which we'll get to in the next couple slides. So I'm sure you've heard, or maybe not aware, that there are different parts to Medicare. There's a Part A, there's a Part B, there's a Part C, and there's a Part D. So Part A and Part B are what's offered through Original Medicare, which is managed through CMS. Okay, that's the Center of Medicare Services. And it covers all types of services. You have options how you want to get the coverage. So your Part A is what we call hospital insurance. This helps pay for inpatient hospital stays, skilled nursing facilities, home health care, and hospice care and blood services. Your Part B is your medical insurance. That helps cover medically necessary services like doctor visits, outpatient care. Part B also covers many preventive services, including screening tests or shots, diagnostic tests, some therapies, and durable medical equipment like wheelchairs and walkers. So together, Parts A and B are also referred to as Original Medicare. Now, Parts C and D are offered by private insurance companies, and they have a contract with CMS. And CMS pays the insurance companies a fee to offer your Part C and your Part D. So what is that? Part C is usually Medicare Advantage. It's another way to get your Medicare benefits. It combines Part A and B, and sometimes Part D, which is prescription drug coverage. And these Medicare Advantage plans are managed by private insurance companies that are approved by Medicare. These plans must cover all medically necessary services. However, the plans can change by different co-pays, co-insurance, or deductibles for these services that are different than Original Medicare. And the final piece is Part D. Part D is Medicare prescription drug coverage. This helps pay for outpatient prescription drugs and helps lower prescription drug costs and protect against higher costs in the future. For today's presentation, we'll be talking about Part A and Part B specifically. In a separate presentation, we'll go more in details about your Part C and Part D. So let's dig a little deeper into the Part A, the hospital insurance. So hospital insurance helps pay for hospital and inpatient care. Inpatient care in hospital is also considered room and board. Inpatient care can also be in a skilled nursing facility. And this is not to be confused with long-term care. Okay, that is something separate. Part A also includes hospice care services and home health services as well. So this is where Part A covers the hospital portion of the benefits. Now to go into the costs of Part A, with Part A there is no monthly premium, so you'll have a zero premium to have the Part A, but there are some deductibles, okay? And these vary from year to year. These numbers are as of 2021, and they will change in 2022, and 23, and 24, and so forth. So these numbers are only as of 2021. For a hospital deductible, there is a $1,484 deductible to pay per benefit period, okay? Each benefit period is only 60 days. So for example, you go to the hospital on January 1st, you stay for a couple days, say 2 or 3 days, you would pay that $1,484 deductible. If you go back at the end of the month, so you're still within the 60-day time frame, no deductible to pay. However, if you go back in June, so if you first went in January, then you go back in June for the hospital stay, you'll have to pay that new deductible again, that $1,484. So that's where it can get a little expensive because that deductible is paid every benefit period after 60 days. In addition to that, you also have daily co-payments that go beyond the benefit period. So let's just say you stay more than 60 days in a hospital. There's a daily co-insurance from day 61 to day 90. That's $371. And if you stay between 90 to 150 days. So you're looking at 3 to 5 months in a hospital. Your out-of-pocket cost will be $742 per day. And if you stay in a hospital beyond 150 days, you pay the entire cost. And this is where it can get pretty expensive to have only original Medicare. Now, if we look at a skilled nursing facility separate from inpatient hospital stay, so skilled nursing, so this is where you have nurses taking care of you, not the doctors. This is typically after surgery, where they just check up on you for a couple days. These will be the costs. Your daily coinsurance from day 1 to 20 is $0. If you stay beyond 21 days up to 100 days, your daily cost is $185.50. Now, if you stay at a skilled nursing facility beyond 101 days, you would pay all the costs. Remember, this is what the government offers. Original Medicare Part A. These will be the costs as of 2021. The next part of Original Medicare is Part B. We call the medical insurance. This helps pay for doctor and outpatient care. What does that mean? That's doctor visits or doctors at a hospital, surgery center services, outpatient hospital care, some ambulance or ER services, physical, occupational therapy, any mental health, lab services, durable medical equipment, any types of tests like MRIs, CAT scans, CTs, all stuff that's more of a medical insurance versus a hospital stay. Okay, so this is the Part B, and with this, of course, there are costs. The 2021 costs are $148.50 for a monthly premium, and that number could fluctuate because it's based off of income. All right, we'll again go into more details in a little bit about what that range could be. What's nice though is that can be deducted from your Social Security income, railroad or federal retirement if you're drawing or billed quarterly otherwise. Like I said, that premium rate is determined on an income scale. So your premium could be more than $148.50 if your reported income from 2019 was above $88,000 for individuals or $176,000 for couples. In addition to the monthly premium of Part B, there's an annual deductible. In 2021, that annual deductible is $203. Also, with Part B, there is coinsurance. Coinsurance, you pay 20% of all your bills, and Medicare pays 80%. So you're on the hook for 20% of all those costs. In addition to that, if you do not sign up in time, there could be a penalty for not signing up when you're eligible, unless you have what we call credible coverage. Credible coverage can be if you're still employed and you have some type of employer coverage, you are technically covered by insurance, so you're not required to sign up for Part B. However, if you are late to sign up and you miss, the penalty could be an additional 10% of the premium amount for each 12-month period enrollment is delayed, and that penalty is charged every month for as long as you have Part B. So it's not a one-time charge, it's for life. So it can be very, very expensive if you sign up a little bit late. Another challenge with the Part B is that there is no maximum out-of-pocket protection. So you can just spend and spend and spend until you have no money left. And those are the dangers of having only Part A and Part B with original Medicare. Now there are some protections in place if you decide to go with a Part C, which again will be a separate presentation, but for today's purposes, it's Part A and Part B. Enrolling in Part A and B if you have an employer coverage. So Part A may negate your ability to contribute to an HSA account when you're working beyond age 65. So if that is your situation, ask your HR contact about that. It also may affect your Part B enrollment rights. Now, you can delay enrolling in Part B if you have employer coverage and if you or your spouse or family member are disabled and you're still working. So there are some ways to avoid the penalty if you meet this criteria. You can also learn how your insurance works with Medicare, but that's more specific to your employer. So reach out to your employer benefits administrator to find out what the situation is there if you are in that specific situation. So as I mentioned earlier, there are some fluctuations in your Part B premium. All right, again, this is what you will pay in 2021. These numbers will change in the years in the future. So as you can see here, for the most part, people will pay $148.50 if you file taxes for $88,000 or less as an individual, or $176,000 or less for a joint. Now, if you're above 88 but up to $111,000 for individual, or above 176 up to $222,000 for a joint, each month will go up to $207.90. I won't go through all these, but you can see the more money you make or claim on your taxes, the more you'll pay each month. It can go up to $504.90, but you're talking now of income of $500,000 or more. So for the most part, you're going to see majority of people paying the $148.50 is what will be charged on a monthly basis for your Part B. And not only is it important to know what is covered in Part A and B, but also more importantly, what's not covered. So Medicare Part A and Part B don't cover everything. If you need certain services that Medicare doesn't cover, you have to pay out-of-pocket costs unless you have other insurances to cover those costs. Even if Medicare covers a service or item, you generally have to pay some type of deductible, co-insurance, or co-payment. So items and services that Medicare doesn't cover include, but again, aren't limited to, long-term care, routine dental care, dentures, cosmetic surgery, acupuncture, hearing aids, exams for hearing aids, prescription drugs, okay? So long-term care includes any medical and non-medical care for people who have chronic illness or disability. So non-medical care includes any non-skilled personal assistance, such as help with everyday activities, like dressing, bathing, using the bathroom. Long-term care can be provided at home, in the community, or assisted living, or nursing home. However, that is not part of Part A and B of Original Medicare. So to wrap up the 2021 Original Medicare, we want to show you what the costs are and what the gaps are. So initially, you have the 2021 Part A deductible. We said that is $1,484 per benefit period. It covers the first 60 days of hospital confinement. Remember, your copay for days 61 to 90 is at $371 per day. Copay for days 91 to 150 is $742 per day. And remember, there's no coverage after day 150. It also provides skilled nursing for days 1 through 20 at $0. There will be a copay of $185.50 from day 21 to 100. And again, so there's no coverage after day 100. You'll have to have a Part B deductible of $203 a year. And the coinsurance is 80-20. That means that Medicare covers 80% and you pay the other 20%. It can get expensive because Medicare only approves certain medical expenses and there is no prescription drug coverage in any of these plans of Part A and B. And finally, the scariest item of all, there is no maximum out-of-pocket limit with Original Medicare. So the costs just continue to go up and up and up. So this summarizes our Part A and Part B of Medicare. I want to thank you for your time today. Appreciate you listening. And please watch our other video that goes into more specifics of Part C and Part D and how it all brings everything together. Thank you for your time.